4 o'clock rock. Actually, it's Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, our flagship show on energy, every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So, you know, if you're not coming regular, put it on your calendar, put it in your Google Calendar as a repeating entry every single Wednesday and come and listen, because we have great stuff, especially this season, because Sharon Moriwaki, who is our queen, our leader, she has developed this whole series of things, and we are now in the series of energy efficiency. That's why 2 out of the 3 people next to me, who I will introduce in a moment, are from Hawaii Energy, being efficient. Okay, Chelsea Harder is the first one. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, and Chelsea is a transformational program specialist.
Correct.
And she transforms herself every day. Next to her is somebody who's not with Hawaii Energy, but who's working with Hawaii Energy, Laura Cummings. Cummings?
Mm-hmm.
At the, let's see, the Sunset Beach Elementary School.
That's correct.
She's a teacher there. She teaches science and technology, am I right? Science and technology.
Mm-hmm.
And for grades 4 to 6.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay, and we like people who do that, so you're in our preferred list to start with, yeah?
Thanks for having
Whatever
me.
you say doesn't matter. And Larry Newman, our old friend Larry Newman, who is my co-host for this program, and he's the program manager, close.
It's good enough.
At Hawaii Energy. And we're gonna sort of we'll be the bookends on these ladies. I love it. It's another kind of the gender sandwich we like so much. Okay, so this is entitled Market Transformations in Energy Efficiency, and we're specifically going to do a case study involving Sunset Beach Elementary School. I love case studies. Okay, so the first thing is let's define our terms. Ready, Chelsea?
I'm ready.
She's ready. I know she's ready.
Right.
Okay. What is a transformation for this discussion?
Right. So, as you know, Hawaii Energy has a multitude of programs, and one of them is our transformational program, or some other traditional DSM programs call it market transformation. So it's basically strategic interventions in an existing market that are designed for a specific market to achieve a lasting goal, like energy savings. So that boils down to different activities that we do with the long-term goal of achieving energy savings within 3 to 5 years. And one of those things one of the projects that we do is we work with the National Energy Education Development Project, which is a
NEED. Okay.
Yeah, so we call it the NEED project, much easier. Laura, and that is our teacher training program where we also engage the community. So Laura Cummings is one of the teachers that has been involved since the inception of that program. Mm-hmm. And we'd love to talk a bit about her experience in it. But first of all, I can just say that what we offer is teacher training in energy education to teachers. A lot of teachers, when they go to school to be a teacher, there's not an energy curriculum course, but as you know, it's a very hot topic these days. So a lot of teachers are saying, I'm interested in energy and sustainability, but I don't know how to teach it. So that's what we offer. We offer training and materials for teachers to be able to deliver that to their classroom.
Great. Now, intervention, that's a word with a high, emotional value to it. What is an intervention for this discussion?
It's, I would define it as looking at what is currently in place and seeing how we can insert specific programs that will have a lasting effect in a positive way.
So you're intervening this kind of training and efficiency mm-hmm. into the school by talking to a teacher and getting the teacher to relay that to her students.
Absolutely, with the end goal of the students bringing it to their home and saving energy in the home, teaching their parents. Crafty. Very strategic.
Reuse, Recycle, and Renew was a play that played at the Children's Theater for Youth a couple of years ago. It was funded by Blue Planet Foundation. Right. And it was all about, sustainability and keep the earth clean and all that stuff. It was very good. It was kind of a musical, and the cast were terrific. And I remember they had a song by that name. I can't remember it, but mm-hmm. there was a song, Reuse, Recycle, Renew. Okay, and at the end of, and these kids, they bust in, these kids from all these elementary schools, and then they came and they sat and they watched, you know, and they do their kid thing. Kids understand a play differently than adults do. They pick up things that adults don't necessarily pick up. But I will never forget, at the end of this play, which I thought was pretty good, these kids, these 6th grade kids, are walking out of the, maybe less, they're walking out of the theater there, holding hands and so happy, singing the song.
Right.
That song about reuse, and I knew what was going to happen when they got home. Okay, they were going to continue to sing the bloody song. They weren't going to let their parents rest, singing for days and weeks, forever. You know, and that was the value, the takeaway of what these guys did with that play. And you knew they were doing the same clever thing. You get at the kids this way, that way, anyway.
Absolutely. I wish you remembered that song, though. We'd love to hear you sing it.
Oh. We're going to do that during the first break.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, so what does it mean to be a science and technology teacher at Sunset Beach Elementary School?
Thanks for asking. I think what Chelsea is saying is right on the money. You know, if we teach kids to be change agents, then they take it to their parents, they take it to their aunties and uncles, and they start spreading the message. And that's how sustainable change will take place, is just making a little army of students to go out and say, this is what we should be doing. And for students, I think it's more, you know, they get emotional about the earth. How can we take care of the earth? And for parents, they might be more concerned about saving money. So if we can combine saving the earth, making people healthier, and saving money all at the same time, then we've got a winner for everybody.
Yeah, that and affordable housing will do the job.
Right, yeah. Somehow we need to teach kids how to take care of that problem.
Teach them how to be developers, yeah.
There we
That was
go.
our last show. Okay, so how did you get to be a science and technology teacher? How did you do that? What school did you go to? What did you study? Why are you doing this, Laura?
Great questions. I'm passionate about education, and particularly environmental education, sustainability. I went to school in Michigan at a little university called Madonna University.
Madonna?
Madonna University.
Is that a violation of the First Amendment?
It's not. Different kind of Madonna. And then I went on, got my master's on an online American College of Education in curriculum and instructional studies. And then I got my national board certification as well. So
why Hawaii?
why Hawaii? I've worked all over the world. I used to work on cruise ships. This is one of my favorite places to be. I mean, look around, right? Who wouldn't want to be here? So.
Well, Sunset Beach has you know, it has advantages beyond other places in Oahu.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and that's I've got to give it to my community and the students and our colleagues. It's just a fantastic place to be. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I'm finishing up my 12th year there.
12th year?
12th year.
Goodness gracious. You must have started when you were very
Oh,
young.
thank you, Jay, that's so nice.
What are your kids like in Sunset Beach? Can you give us a kind of Mr. Potato Man profile of who they are?
They are clever and funny and curious, and the community is really supportive of anything that we bring on. We're doing a pilot program with Hawaii Energy this year with saving energy at home and at school, and we've had a lot of support from students and families. So they're interested in learning more and making sure they keep their community looking how it does.
You have to offer them that support, don't you? I mean,
Absolutely.
It's not just that you handle the children in the school, but you have to allow access somehow and connection with the parents. Then you get a two-way benefit.
Sure.
The children are more free to discuss it with the parents, and the parents are more, you know, accepting of what the children have to say.
Absolutely. We're really lucky like that. We have fantastic support from community and great teachers and the students who want to learn. So all those components make it a successful endeavor.
Okay, well, so now just I need to know 4th to 6th grade in science and technology. it's been a long time since Larry and I were in that grade. So, and for that matter, Chelsea too. What is, but less so. But what's it like to teach 4th to 6th grade in science and technology? What kinds of things do you cover with them?
So we cover, right now, our science standards are Hawaii content and performance standards. And it's anything from the changing surface of the earth to fossils to light to physics. We cover it all. And energy is a big portion of what we need to teach,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
So having Hawaii Energy and the National Energy Education Development Project involved has been a great blessing, because as Chelsea said, sometimes we just don't have the budget or the resources to provide that hands-on learning that is so essential for science.
That's a picture. Is that your class?
That is not actually.
That's one of the teacher trainings. That's our
Teacher,
latest
okay.
one. Yep. So we bring a facilitator over from the NEED project to that has been involved in the curriculum and develops it. So
They didn't look like 4th grade.
Yeah. It's been a little while. Actually, we have a couple more photos as well. One of the things in addition to the teacher training that we're doing is we wanted to reach the community a bit more directly rather than the circuitous route of training teachers, training students, bringing it home. We wanted to get directly to the parents. So
Yeah, great.
we've been we piloted this Energy Expo last year, which is similar to an energy carnival,
Yeah.
where it's teacher hosted, so they set up all the logistics, but it's student led. So they're in all these different booths around the cafeteria where people can come in and play the games that the students are hosting.
Students organize the exhibition.
Exactly, so
You know,
they're running it.
You know, Sharon Moriwaki, maybe we should include them in the planning committee for the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum Clean Energy Day. Sounds like, they already have some skills here. Thanks to Chelsea.
Well, as you know, kids are a lot more compelling sometimes than adults. We listen to
Ain't it
adults
the
all the
truth?
time. Yeah.
We know why, that's why you're there.
That's why I'm there, yeah.
We'll take a break, I need a break. Let's take a break, we'll come back, we'll hear more about the exhibition and how it works, and we'll find out how you guys met each other and the nature of your collaboration, okay? Now, just let me say, that's Chelsea Harder at my left, Laura Cummings, and the quiet guy over on the far left is Larry Newman. We're gonna get him involved, you'll see, we'll be right back.
Aloha, I'm Kirsten Baumgart-Turner, and I host Sustainable Hawaii at thinktechhawaii.com, which streams live educational and civic engagement on the internet and Oceanic Channel 16. I love doing this show because it's an opportunity to be able to share some of the good news as well as the pressing issues for Hawaii and the world about climate change, climate justice, and sustainability, and the need to start employing and continue to request sustainable policy initiatives and actions on the part of our decision makers here and abroad. So I hope you'll tune in with me every Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. as we try and engage you, share a lot of very interesting people's work and perspectives, and perhaps turn you on to taking action for sustainability. Mahalo and aloha.
Aloha, my name is Carl Campagna. I am the host of Think Tech Hawaii's Education Movers, Shakers, and Reformers. You can see our show every Wednesday at noon at 12 p.m. on thinktechhawaii.com, as well as visiting YouTube and finding the link for the show there. The show is also aired on OC16. We look forward to seeing you on the show. We have many wonderful guests, including Joan Husted, Corey Rosenlee, where we talk about the very important issues of education for our keiki. We look forward to seeing you there. Mahalo.
Aloha, I'm Keli'i Akina, president of the Grassroot Institute, and host on Ehana Kako, a weekly program on the Think Tech Hawaii broadcast network. Ehana Kako means let's work together. Think of the sad alternative, let's not work together. Here in Hawaii, with all of our diversity and the richness of the people, it's important for us to come together around issues on the basis of what's right and what's good and what's going to serve the common good. And that's what we try to do at Ehana Kako. Every week we interview movers and shakers, people in government, business, and other sectors of society to talk about how to create together a better government, economy, a better world here in Hawaii that can bless the rest of the world. I thank you for your attention to Think Tech Hawaii, and we look forward to seeing you every Monday, 2 to 3 p.m. on the Think Tech Hawaii broadcast network. We're Ehana Kako, and we wish you well. Aloha.
We're back. We're live. We're here with Larry Newman, Laura Cummings, and Chelsea Harder. So, Larry, what do you think so far? You have an impression about where this program fits. I like a Passover. The Passover Seder. Why is this program different from all other programs? What do you think?
Well, the transformational programs are really, really critical, and utility programs, the energy efficiency program, traditionally an incentive came in one form, and that was a rebate check or an incentive check. And 3-4 years ago, we partitioned part of our incentive budget to stand up this transformational portfolio. And NEED is one of the more prominent ones that we got started very early. But instead of providing a rebate check for those that work in the energy industry, all the transformational programs are trying to onboard new participants, basically, that over the long term, they're going to be wiser, smarter about energy. Whether that results in a rebate or not is beside the point.
Yeah.
It's about education. So it starts with basics about what's a kilowatt hour, what are the basics around energy, why is it important, and what can you personally do to affect a positive change. That's what Chelsea was talking about in terms of the intervention. So we take a portion of our incentive dollars and we fund these programs. And instead of the program delivering the value, we've got teachers delivering the value. There's a lot of leveraging.
No additional expense.
That's
Sorry.
right. Well, definitely value. And then the kids, it's multipliers, right? So how many dozens of kids do you have? How many dozens of homes? And it's more compelling when a kid comes home and says, hey, guess what I learned at school today? Shut the light off, by the way, than listening.
It's usually reserved for parents and children. Now
It's the other way around.
It's
It's the other way around. It's the other way around. So they're great messengers.
Yeah, so but you have to choose the place in which this case study is going to take place. I mean, this case, it happens to be Sunset Beach, but there's a lot of other schools. I guess first you're looking to find strategic locations and situations, right? And then you sort of polish it, you develop best practices and techniques and all that, learn how to do it better and better. It's a lot like efficiency in general. And then you try it somewhere else, right?
And the teachers are very involved in that. So a couple of years in, we stood up an advisory board. So the most passionate teachers are the ones that are gathering around a table and saying, how can we do more? How can we be better? And that's actually the Energy Expo is an idea that was generated by teachers. Doing science fairs, et cetera. It's like, hey, maybe we could do something around energy, and here we have it happening.
That's great. That's lovely. But the question does occur to me is how long does a given case study last? There's going to be a time, I think there has to be a time just logically when you have to say farewell to Laura. Farewell, Laura. Sad day, right? How long does it last?
Well, what you learn never leaves you.
Okay, fair.
So
she will continue to use the lessons that have been
Sure.
imparted.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, let's go back to exactly how this works. So which one of you guys contacted which one of you guys?
Interesting. So before my time, the transformational program was stood up, and
I happened to be at an event in town over at the State Art Museum. And I was new in town, new on the island, and I was just mingling. I happened to we think we met each other, and it usually starts out, what do you do? So, oh, I work for the Hawaii Energy Program. What's that? We help with energy efficiency, and we actually were starting to do some training and offering different programs and ones in the schools with teachers. And what I do remember was Sunset Beach Elementary, and I told her about it, and we went on our way, and later on I find out she's one of our star teachers.
Great, great.
Yeah.
And this proves, as so many other vectors and factors prove, that it pays to be associated with the art museum. Okay, so then you get involved, Chelsea.
Right.
What happens?
So we design programs for our first line of, our first line of connection is the teacher trainings. So teachers that are interested in any sort of sustainability, energy education will come to these trainings. And a lot of times you can see what teachers are really passionate and really interested in doing
you
that.
sort of communicate out there into the educational landscape.
We do,
If
public,
anybody's
private,
interested,
charter school, everybody.
And the ones who are interested come back to you.
Exactly.
In this training, okay.
And then within the training, there is a subset of teachers that will stay in contact with you. Oh, I tried this lesson, it's really interesting, or oh, I have some feedback from this. I would love a little bit more information on that. So Laura was one of those teachers that was very communicative, would implement right away, and just very motivated and had a lot of value to offer. And we just wanted to continue to collaborate with her.
You knew she was special.
Absolutely.
Especially interested. Mm-hmm. And Laura, you knew this program was something that interested you.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's an incentive for teachers to go as well. Like I said, a lot of times schools just don't have the budget for the hands-on equipment that you need to teach specifically science. You know, there's a lot of prep time and a lot of things that are involved in teaching really meaningful science. So these workshops that Hawaii Energy and NEED offer provide materials to implement right away in the classroom. So it makes it easy, it makes it cheaper for the schools, and the lessons are engaging for students. So it's kind of a no-brainer why a teacher wouldn't get involved.
Yeah, you want that kind of support.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, for example, what kind of equipment would you get?
So there's different types of kits that are available through NEED and Hawaii Energy. Basically just teaching the science of energy first, because you can't conserve energy until you know what it is and where it comes from. So science of energy is one that we use right off the bat. And then there's a monitoring and mentoring kit as well, with different types of tools like a kilowatt device, so you can plug in your appliance and see how much energy that's using. The kids love doing that. They're checking out all sorts of appliances and light meters to see if we have the proper lighting in a particular place, or thermometers.
So you give them a chance to examine your environment at the school. Yeah, great. Okay, and then let's see, there was something else. Curriculum. Chelsea gave you books and manuals. What? She gave you a program to follow.
Yeah,
a sequence of teaching instructions.
Sort of, yeah. It's all online for teachers through need.org. You can pull up any kind of energy lessons that you want, and then the workshops help take you through some of the kits, so you know exactly how to teach the things and then how to use the equipment as well. So even though the curriculum's available online, the workshops are still beneficial to kind of find that easy way and that efficient way to demonstrate the equipment and help kids move through the different types of lessons.
So you integrated this into your teaching, into your classes?
Yes.
4th to 6th grade?
Correct.
But did you have to get approval or anything from the DOE?
No, so if it's part of the Department of Education standards, which energy is built in, then you can teach to the standards any way you want.
So any teacher in a grade school, I guess, would be able to do what you did.
Absolutely, yeah. And picking and choosing, it's not going to be all perfect for your grade level, but picking and choosing what works for you is probably the best approach for teachers.
Sure. And you guys would confer and consult about exactly what Laura was doing?
She would share what she was doing. So we'd ask, so how are the kids going? Because we want to make sure that what we offer is being used. So she was very communicative, and she actually had her students make some videos, like tutorials on this is how you use the kilowatt
I want
device.
these children. I want these
Yeah, they're great.
They're pretty amazing kids.
I know, I know. Yeah, we go to the science fair every year. In fact, we made a movie about this one, as we did for the last 3-4 years. And those kids just tear your heart out. They're fabulous.
Yeah.
And they get up and they present their projects, and it's like, whoa, how does he know about it? Okay, let's do some more graphics. We got graphics we haven't covered yet. Okay, what's the next one? There it is.
So this is a photo of a workshop on Molokai. So as Laura was saying, the trainings or the workshops give teachers a chance to really dig into the kids, but it also is a platform for collaboration. If anybody's a teacher out there that's listening, you know that you're busy all the time and you're just trying to get your lesson plan and your papers corrected for the next day. So this is a time to pause, really dig into the equipment and ask questions and figure out how you want to integrate this into your curriculum. So the curriculum is for K through 12. You can differentiate up, down, however you want. And it's for all different types of subjects. It's not just for science. So you can integrate this into language arts, into math, however you want to do it.
Great.
It's a big confidence builder too for teachers that, the teachers don't necessarily have this background either, so they're in a very comfortable setting with colleagues, and feel free to ask questions, hands-on. And
Yeah, something Laura said a little while ago is or maybe it was you, Chelsea, once you learn this, however you learn it, you're going to incorporate it in your teaching going forward.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see some more pictures after the break, but before we go to the break, Larry, I need you to summarize where we are in this discussion and how you think Chelsea and Laura are doing.
Oh, they're doing an awesome job. So we talked about transformation, how it's a strategic intervention. So unlike traditional energy programs, stand up a program, we're open for business, come participate in our program, we flip it. We try to develop offerings, but we go to those specific sectors. This one happens to be K through 12 education. And we try to work with them in their element, in their environment, to support their day-to-day job, but tweak it with our mission. So we talked about need, and we also have a number of other transformational programs. We could touch on that lightly about different ways the Hawaii Energy Program is trying to transform the market within different demographic areas of industry and also for households.
Strategic engagement, that's what I get. Okay, we'll take a short break. You'll see, we'll be right back, I promise.
Aloha, namaskar, and hello. My name is Anu Hittel, and I host a show, Climate Change Beyond Outrage. In it, we go beyond outrage to look at solutions to climate problems facing people, nations, and the world. Join me every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Hawaii Standard Time. See you then.
Hi, I'm Ethan Allen, host of Likeable Science on Think Tech Hawaii. Come join us every Friday at 2 p.m. when I interview interesting scientists about what they do, why they do it, and why we should all care about it. It's a lot of fun to see. We hear, and you can learn interesting stuff. You'll hear all kinds of fascinating science, and we know you'll have a great time. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
Aloha! How you doing? It's me, Angus McTech, wishing you to welcome and join us to see us on Hibachi Talk on Think Tech Hawaii. Join my co-hosts, Gordo the Tech Czar and Andrew the Security Guy, every Friday from 1300 to 1345. We look forward to seeing you. We'll talk tech and we'll have some wee bit of fun. And remember, let your wing gang free wherever you be. Aloha!
Whoop. Whoop. We're back. It was too short. You were waxing so eloquent during the break. So let's talk about the pilot program that goes further with the kits going home. You know, this reminds me of, we had a visit to Kealakehe High School in Kona, and we met the principal, and we learned that there was a substantial percentage of the students there were Micronesian. And the problem for their parents was that they had just come from Micronesia and they had really no way of integrating into the society, economically, socially, what have you. And what the principal did, which I was very impressed with, is he organized classes for the parents. what a mitzvah, that means good deed, that he did for them. And now the school is a complete community kind of school where everybody gets involved. And that's what you were doing, or you are doing in this pilot, right? Tell us how it works.
Absolutely. So like we were talking about before, the Energy Expos were a pilot last year, and we found them so successful that we're rolling it out fully. And this year we wanted to try something new to further engage students. So we have 14 teachers that are piloting this program called Saving Energy at Home and School. So they have curriculum specific to Hawaii, very relevant to their home and their school, that the teachers will deliver to their students. And afterwards, each student will get to take home this home energy kit, which will include faucet aerators, high efficiency shower heads, smart strips, and they'll take it home and say, hey, look what I did in school, let's install this. So
they keep it.
So they keep it.
Make
They
their house,
install
their
it in
own
their
home more
home,
efficient.
and then their homes are saving energy.
That's
Yeah.
lovely. What a gift that is. And then the kids can show the parents how you do this stuff. So
Right.
when children teach their parents, children never forget. Also the parents don't forget either.
And Laura is one of the teachers that is involved in this pilot.
What do you think of the program, Laura?
So far, so good. We've just started to develop the lessons, not develop the lessons, but roll out the lessons with the students. They did receive their kits, so there's a survey that goes along with it. What did you install? What do you think you won't install? That kind of thing. And we've had a lot of support and success with it so far.
So they come back and report to you and
They
how
do,
things are
yeah,
going.
yeah.
And then you know if they're actively following through at home or not.
Right, and it helps Hawaii Energy see what types of things were beneficial for the families
Sure.
and what types of things were not.
It's an eye in the sky into the home. It's a great idea. Okay, so why is it a pilot? Why don't you just do it?
We wanted to make sure that that it was effective first, because if we're going to roll it out fully, we want to make sure that we get some feedback from our teachers that are closest to us that can help us shape the program.
Yeah. So far, it does seem to be working, though.
Yes, yes.
So where does this all go? I mean, to go to my question earlier, how long does it last? What's the next step? What are you learning about how this works? What are you learning in school about how this works? And it sounds to me like a great idea to integrate the community, to engage the community at all levels on energy efficiency. I mean, this is the kind of thing which does transform our society here in Hawaii. So, but what do you follow this with? What's your next act?
Well, it's on the boards. I think one thing that we do try to strike a balance is, do we go broad or we go deep? Because there's an investment in each and every teacher, and when you get a teacher that's very enthusiastic, passionate, and really wants to stick with it, you want to make sure that that actually leads to that next step. So I think we're very in tune with our current teachers. We try to recruit more teachers through those teachers and grow organically, rather than a broad brush shotgun approach to just let's bring them in, just get them in the seat, get them to do the workshop, count them up, done.
Yes, absolutely,
yeah.
yes. Because you want them to be committed.
Yeah.
You don't want this to be bureaucratic. You want
Yeah.
to be committed. You want people like Laura who care about it. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So you're talking to your friends, your other teacher mates?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one of the biggest incentives is that free equipment that you're going to be able to use with your students that every teacher needs. So that's one of the biggest things to persuade others to start the workshops. And then once they see it for themselves, it kind of just becomes something that, oh, why wasn't I doing this all along?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
these resources were available to me all along and I haven't known about it. Or so word of mouth and making sure that we talk to science teachers or any teachers for these.
Are they coming along? Are they becoming involved? Are they going to be part of your program? Are you going to give them the same benefits?
Absolutely. I mean, that's usually teacher to teacher is the best way to market.
Sure. By the way, it strikes me that, you know, if you have the kit and you have the curriculum on this, it's science. And these kids are going to get more sophisticated in science. And soon enough, they'll be in the science fair. And I'll bet you $10 right now, right here, right now, I'll bet you $10 that the projects they do in the science fair will be all about energy efficiency. I know this in my heart.
I'd like to see that. Yeah.
Okay, so you know, the other thing is, what have we learned so far? I mean, this is a work in progress. It's a study. It's a case study. So you come to conclusions. You learn. What are you learning?
Wow, that's a big question. So I guess we're learning that direct connection to the community is really important, that engaging the community in participating with the students and learning about why energy is important in Hawaii, what our energy situation is, and what we can do about it. So I think that this program is very compelling because it is student driven, or the teachers will motivate the students to bring it into the homes. So we're finding that engaging at multiple levels is really what's helping.
Saturation in a
Yeah,
way.
absolutely. We want to reach every community, but we also, like Larry said, we want to get that depth as well.
Yeah. But you know, it strikes me that you can't be static about this, because energy is certainly dynamic in every way, and sometimes too dynamic for some people. It's technology that's always changing.
Yeah.
So whatever curriculum you give, whatever kit you build, it's going to change. You want to teach those kids the latest and greatest, not something 2 or 3 or 5 years old, but something now. So when's the next iteration, guys?
Well, I think the fundamentals are going to stay pretty core, but it does allow them to engage in the changes. So there's an article in the paper every day about energy. Whether it's the teachers are able to understand that, it's more accessible.
Yeah. Great
again,
class discussion.
over the time frame, whether it's current events or what have you, there's lots of opportunities. So do you integrate it in language arts? Do you integrate it in history, English? There are lots of opportunities to tap into this knowledge. So as far as lessons learned, I think we've touched on the Energy Expo and the Carnival, and that is a great complement to other areas of our program. When it comes to marketing and outreach, which is trying to engage the community, there's a lot of lift and a lot of cost to reaching the community. And here, we've got a lot of synergy now. We've got something that's student-led, reaching the community, and that community is then better off and more primed to respond to other things around energy, whether Hawaii Energy brings it to them or any other stakeholder.
Looking at the photograph on the screen, that looks like a pretty engaged group. Is that the
That's one of the energy expos, right?
expos? Yeah.
Yep, that was the latest one at Wilson Elementary. So the kids had all sorts of different booths for different energy games, and it was a platform for them to showcase some of the projects that they've done in their classroom.
They have to speak.
Yes.
That's like the science fair. They have
Look
to
at them
actually
speaking.
present.
Yeah.
Elementary school ain't what it used to be.
Right. So we really want to empower the students to take ownership into this. See, they're using the kilowatt meters there and showing how they can measure energy and how they can get insight into what kind of appliances use what kind of energy, so they can make informed choices, better decisions.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're transforming the community then. I mean, this has to be one of the most high value, high leverage programs you've ever done, in the sense that you're gonna reach the way people think out there on the ground.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
And behind the scenes, the program is developing a more rigorous approach to measuring the effects. So, these started out, a number of our transformational programs started out as, we need to do X. We need to reach the schools. How do we do that? Research was done to find available programs. What can we leverage that already exists, bring it to Hawaii, get it implemented? Need came out on top. We get things started. We stand it up. It's moving. Things are happening. It starts to blossom and grow. These expos were not on the drawing board at the beginning. Now that we have activity, now we're taking a second look at it and going, okay, what's the whole logical rationale of this program? What are the outcomes that we're looking for near term, medium term, long term, and start to dial in what's working, what's not, so that over the course of time, we can take a step back and really track we're achieving what we need to achieve.
Yeah. Great. I hope you go wide on it ultimately, or at least have more pilots and more teachers and more schools involved.
Yeah.
But I want to just run one thing by you, Laura. You know, one of my concerns over the years, not necessarily elementary school students, but maybe high school students, junior high school students, is that they have precious little connection with the real world. They go to school, they go home, maybe they're latchkey, maybe they get in trouble, and all that. But they don't meet guys like Larry. They don't meet Chelsea. They're locked into this school to home. There's no real exposure between them and the community. So I always like to see when people from the community, ideas from the community, new phenomenon come into the school. And this seems to me to offer the possibility of that kind of connection, where your kids are getting, and they know it, they're getting sources of information from outside the ordinary curriculum, and they can kind of look over the outside of the box and think about their place in the world. And I wonder your thoughts on that. I mean, do we need this? Is this a good thing in terms of them connecting with things and structures and ideas outside the school? Is this helping? Do we need more of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think some of the most important skills that we're trying to teach are collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, communication. So by having things like the Energy Expo, and at our school we called it a carnival this year because we had much more participation with it's a carnival than it's an expo, right? So
Good move.
We invited all sorts of partners. The Kahei program with the DOE, they were at our Energy Expo. We had Kokua Hawaii Foundation, they were at our expo. So we had a bunch of different partners all kind of working together for the same goals as far as an overarching umbrella of sustainability. And the kids leading it, so the kids in my class led the activities and taught the rest of the kids in the school that came for that community night. And that practice of talking to others and teaching their knowledge, I mean, that was so valuable for them. They're not only did they learn the information, but then they kind of solidified that information by teaching it to others. So those Hawaii Energy has made this kind of possible to have the kids practice those essential skills that they're going to need.
Yeah. But it's in the context of that question, though, it seems to me that the carnival or expo, I would call it, is a really easy way to let outsiders come in, to have the kids, associate mano y mano, can I use that term, with the outside world, and that's really valuable. And that it's not a burden in any way on the sanctity of the classroom kind of thing that DOE likes. It gives you an event which has this possibility, this connection.
Definitely.
So, you thought of that?
I did not think of that, no. We have had other science nights when parents would come in and students would teach them concepts that they've learned, and then we kind of took on Hawaii Energy's Energy Expos last year, and we did it again this year.
Use those lessons.
Correct, and then depending on what time of year it is, we have different types of family events at our school that involve parents and give students a venue for sharing their knowledge.
Yeah. How long do you want to continue to do this?
Great question. Teaching, I mean, it's a passion of mine. It's so much fun, and until it's not fun anymore, I'd like to continue doing it.
Okay. Fabulous. You really made a good choice, a good connection. This is a great program because this really will transform the way the community thinks. You must really enjoy this. It's great, a lot of gratification in this kind of success. Yeah. So Larry, summarize. I told you I was going to ask you to summarize.
Oh, well, the NEED program is just one of about a half a dozen transformational initiatives that we have at Hawaii Energy. This one focuses on K through 12 education. We teach the teacher, and then the teacher takes it to the students take it to the families and relatives and on the street. Great way to leverage, great way to provide core education to students and teachers for that matter. Those that didn't know what a KWH was before now have a better idea what that is.
I love that when a fourth grader tells you what a KWBH, whatever it is.
It's humbling. It's humbling, but it's a solid foundation to build on. Foundations I don't think any of us had when we were in school.
Yeah.
I think it was a brave thing for the PUC to decide to say, okay, Hawaii Energy, take some of those incentive dollars, and we're going to invest it in something that is not going to result in immediate KWH savings to the state. But we're going to be long-term thinkers here and make an investment. And I think it was a wise investment.
How do you do metrics on it?
Well, we start basic. We're looking at teachers that participate. We're looking at the reach that those teachers have. And I think with this pilot, where we're explicitly, giving them, the students, a kit to take home, is the first step in actually, literally getting them to screw in a light bulb.
And finding out what they're doing at home.
Yeah, and the strategy
how
is
the home is changing.
And the strategy is to start small. So when you take someone who doesn't know anything about energy to feel empowered that by just changing an aerator in the bathroom sink or the shower head can make a material effect on their energy consumption and their electric bill, then they're primed to take the next bigger step, which could be a solar water heating system. It could be the next time they replace their air conditioner.
That's a kid.
They're thinking about, oh, hey, maybe we can make a better choice.
Yeah.
And that's the strategy behind transformation.
Chelsea, I only have one last question for you. You've been listening to Laura and especially Larry. How do you think Larry did tonight?
I think he did a great job of summarizing both the NEED project, how it started, and putting it into the grander picture, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea. Good job. Good job, Laura.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Larry. Thank you all for a great discussion.
Always a pleasure.
Aloha.
Thanks.